Myles Garrett got the bag. Joker just keeps doing historic stuff. And we've got Jason Kelce and TJ Hockenson on tonight's Watch DA Live. Let's do this. So glad you're with us on this Sunday night. And how great is this turn ahead the clocks? An extra hour of daylight. Who doesn't feel better seeing the sun just a little bit longer at the end of the afternoon? Forget a little bit longer, a full hour longer. It's a gorgeous thing. Tonight, we're giving away Last Dive Bar swag as always. And we'll give away some Last Dive Bar t-shirts to those that let us know what they're doing with the extra hour of sunlight. So leave your comments. Hit me up. Wherever it is, however it is that you are watching this, YouTube, Twitter, etc. Leave us your comments. What are you doing with the extra hour of daylight? And I've got Last Dive Bar swag to give away. And a new box just came in from Last Dive Bar this week that I want to break out in tonight's show, which we will also send out to winners tonight. So let me know that in the comment section. Don't leave us hanging, boys and girls. Let us know what you're doing the extra 60 minutes of daylight. Now, we've got Jason Kelce and TJ Hockenson joining us tonight on the show. I was in Baltimore last night. If you follow me on social media, you saw some of the pictures, some of the videos from the Ed Block Courage Awards Gala. This is my second year in a row going down there to MC it. Fantastic event. More on that event coming up. But I had two great conversations with the Vikings Pro Bowl tight end and Kelce, who has now become a rock star around the NFL. And so we'll talk to both of those guys on tonight's show. How exciting is this? Very cool, right? This is what we're talking about. Speaking of the NFL offseason, let's begin with your Furious Five. Furious Five begins. Myles Garrett is staying in Cleveland. What a massive victory this is for the Browns. And dare I say, this is the biggest win in Browns franchise history since, I guess, the playoff win over the Steelers a couple of years back. And maybe in the annals of the new Browns after they came back in this millennium, this is a top 3 win in franchise history. I mean, a month ago, to open up Super Bowl week, the best player on that roster and a surefire Hall of Famer says, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to be with a winner. And there's no way the Browns could have changed the perception that they could be a winner in a month to keep Myles Garrett around. Maybe that was just some type of negotiation ploy by Garrett. But it certainly had seemingly credibility. The guy's up there in years. He's been toiling for a franchise, unable to get out of its own way for much of his career. He goes, hey, I don't have much time left. It is time for me to go win. And somehow the Browns convinced him this is where you need to be. Now, I don't know if that's conversations they had behind the scenes or if it's simply that he wanted money. And this was his negotiating tactic. But he got the money. He is now surpassed Max Crosby as the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL and absolutely, rightfully so, the highest paid defensive player in the NFL. So Garrett got, I guess, the money that he wanted and maybe some type of confidence from conversations with the front office that they've got a plan here. Currently, without Deshaun Watson, post Deshaun Watson, whatever they're going to do at quarterback. I mean, in terms of a Browns franchise stability, the fact that they dug in and they said, we're calling your bluff, we're not trading you. We're not open to trading you. And one? That's pretty unbelievable. Really. I mean, because, again, unless this was just Myles Garrett trying to get a bigger contract, unless this was just all a ploy to get the bigger deal, they had to call his bluff publicly and not take any of the phone calls that I'm sure were flooding in saying what's going to take to get Myles Garrett. For a month, we have conjectured where he might land. I'm sure Andrew Berry was taking phone calls or hearing what other GMs would offer. And nobody's going to say that the Browns had great ownership or have great ownership with the Haslams, but clearly there was an edict from above. We're not trading this guy. Shut it down right now. And they did, and it worked. I mean, when has anything in Browns land ever worked? So unless this is just the first piece of trading Myles Garrett, because now he's got the new contract in tow and the new team just inherits that. If this is Garrett sticking around for the long term, I mean, look, I know that you could have gotten a lot of draft picks in return, but this is about as surprising as any outcome of the Garrett sweepstakes. He's actually staying in Cleveland. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And how often do we say this? Bravo, Cleveland Browns, right? All right, next up, I want to talk a little basketball here, okay? Because Nikola Jokic just comes off that ridiculous game. We're talking about 30 points, 20 rebounds, 20 assists, a 30-20-20 triple-double, and a guy that if you simply stopped the game midway through or pulled him out midway through the game, he had a triple-double already. He had two halves of a triple-double to finish with a 30, 20, and 20. And here's what I believe about the Joker's reputation and legacy. I think his legacy is going to far surpass his reputation. I think the Joker is the type of player that in the moment doesn't get a lot of people, unless you're a real basketball diehard, some of the analytics nerds, or a Nuggets fan, really fired up. I think it takes a certain kind of basketball diehard to get fired up about Jokic. But I think in the future, after he retires, people will say, man, remember how badass he was? I really believe that, and here's why. The type of player that commands a fan now, commands attention today, is going to be one who's flashy, is going to be one who separates out of kind of the muck, right? We're flooded with images and memes and highlights and graphics constantly. So how do you cut through? This is what everybody who tries to make a buck on social media attempts to do, cut through. Everybody who wants a piece of fame tries to cut through this incredible avalanche of content and of personalities and of athletes that we have today. Jokic, because it never appears that he's efforting all that much. It doesn't appear that he has this cutthroat competitive streak because he doesn't play above the rim. I don't think he commands the type of attention that he could if he was dynamic. A Michael, a Kobe, a Shaq, an Iverson, the modern day LeBron, Steph. These are guys that make highlights by either playing above the rim, have that kind of attitude, the swagger, the sharp competitiveness, or in Steph Curry's case, this dramatic sea change of how the NBA works and what kids want to be. Jokic is not that. I compare it to what you would get excited about if you walked onto a new car lot and they gave you two options. And they said, this car can go 140 miles an hour. Okay. It's fast. It's sexy. It's sleek. You're going to get chicks. You're going to be the cool guy, and you are going to absolutely fly. All right. It's going to turn heads all around the neighborhood. Everywhere you go, you're going to be that guy. Or this car that I can guarantee you lasts for 20 years. Guarantee you, no ifs, ands, or buts, you will have this car in 20 years. Now, what's more exciting, right? But once you get 20 years down the road, which do you appreciate more? I think that's what's going to happen with Jokic. I really do. I think we will go forward about 20 years from now after Jokic is retired and go, like, remember what he used to do? They triple-double just every night without barely seemingly breaking a sweat. And the guy didn't seem to even love basketball all that much. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's obviously kind of the idea. That's the aura he gives off. Remember, he would rather just go back home and watch horse racing? Like, remember how sick that was that Jokic dropped a 30, 20, 20? And the ring is very significant here. The fact that he has a championship means we can look back and go, yeah, and he got that ring too. Remember, he performed in the postseason. He carried that team. I think that's what's going to happen with Joker. And look, the Nuggets, because of Joker, are live this year. This is a very weird Western Conference. OKC's the 1 seed. The Lakers now with an injury to LeBron. Warriors are really feisty here, but you have the Grizzlies in there. You have, I think, kind of an open chessboard of somebody to break through in the West, and the Nuggets could be that team. If he gets back to the finals, wins another one, you got 2 rings, all these MVPs, these types of stats, I guarantee you he is the 20-year car. Going to go back and go, man, people didn't appreciate how good he was when we had him, but in retrospect, dude was ridiculous. That's what I think is going to happen with Nikola Jokic. What an absolute machine, huh? All right, back to football here. I think the era of the running back is here. So we saw Saquon Barkley get paid, and the Eagles didn't even have to do that, right? We saw Derrick Henry really come in under market value for the Ravens last year and just completely blow the doors off the value of that contract. I mean, he completely outplayed the contract. We had, Josh Jacobs in Green Bay, again, who looked at Josh Jacobs and said that wasn't worth it. He absolutely was. And now you have another signing, this one with the Vikings keeping Aaron Jones around as well. He gets $20 million. And Aaron Jones is no spring chicken. Aaron Jones has been around the block. Aaron Jones has a lot of carries. Aaron Jones is 30 years old, and Jones is going to be 31 this football season, running back, and they're paying this guy $20 million. Now, look at the running back depth in this draft as well, okay? Look at the running back draft, and led by Ashton Genty, you're going to have a number of running backs that go in the first 2 rounds, all of which have real big play capabilities. I think what you are seeing here is the NFL's priorities swinging back towards the running back, okay? And I think it's smart. I think in the NFL, while you don't have to have a star running back, you have to have a ground game. It cannot be all pass all the time. Defenses have become more sophisticated, and you have to be able, when you have a lead, to grind clock. You have to have the 4-minute offense, the same way you have to have a 2-minute offense. And whether it's the Eagles this year or the way the Chiefs have used the running back position, they haven't had a workhorse, but they certainly have had dependable running backs. And Isaiah Pacheco has been an excellent piece of the puzzle for their championships. This is now a league where it's okay to spend money and draft collateral on a running back, and that's fine. I like it. Now, I don't think you should spend a top 5 pick on a running back, because a top 5 pick means you've got a lot of other problems, okay? But I do think it means NFL teams recognize there is need for more balance, and that's not just your quarterback running around. You have to have a healthy and stable running back position as well. Guys who played a position that just a year ago around this time, we were saying, boy, does anybody respect the position? And 2 years ago around this time, you had running backs having a conference call saying, why does nobody want to pick up the phone when we call? It's amazing how quickly and dramatically that has changed, but I think it's for the better in the NFL. And on that point, if you are into the NFL draft, you're wondering maybe some picks, some prospects some names you should be kind of honing in on. I did a whole video about this, the top 10 most intriguing prospects of this NFL draft in my estimation. So that's not Ashton Genty, Cam Ward, Shador Sanders, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter. That's not the big names. I dug a little bit farther down. And these are guys that will likely go second half of the first round, second round, and maybe even a third round pick in there. But I picked 10 guys, and you can check them out, see what you think, leave your comments below with that video. It's on the YouTube channel right now, the 10 most intriguing prospects. And I'll tell you, from a running back position, I had a couple of them on this list. Okay, number one on my list, the top 10, I put Omarion Hampton from UNC. You got to see highlights of this kid. He runs powerful, but he has great speed, breakaway speed. He's not going to be drafted before Genty, but man, Hampton's the type of guy you can draft, you can put in your backfield and just say, like, that's our guy. And now we got him on a rookie deal for the first 4 years. Let him eat. Omarion Hampton is a really intriguing prospect. Check out his stats. Check out his highlights. Also, I put Travion Henderson in there. Obviously, a huge piece of the puzzle for Ohio State's national championship. But again, the guy can just fly. Henderson's production off the charts as a freshman. And then again, this past season, in his first year in Columbus, the guy put up massive numbers. He can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. I like Travion Henderson a lot. And in the era of the running back coming back, I also put Ollie Gordon in there from Oklahoma State. Now, Gordon's 2023, 1,700 yards. The guy was an absolute monster. This past season, less than 1,000 yards. So he kind of fell off the cliff. So you're going to get good value on this guy because I think executives don't know what they're going to get, and so he's going to slide. But he's somebody to watch because, again, in 2023, 2 seasons ago, he was flat out awesome. So those are some of the guys that I got on my list, and check them out. The video is out right now, 10 most intriguing prospects that I got for this year's NFL draft, which is a little over a month away. There we go. All right, last night, I was down in Baltimore, as I mentioned, for the Ed Block Courage Awards. Now, the Ed Block Foundation is a foundation that rewards and honors NFL players and staffers that have overcome adversity. And obviously, I just think it's an amazing cause because they also connect to homes across the country in every NFL city that are there for at-risk youth. They're there for underprivileged youth. They're there for young people that are overcoming health hardships and things that have happened to them in their family life. Okay, abuse, neglect, illness. So these houses that they have all across the country and all the NFL cities are connected to each NFL team. And that's what they honor, the Ed Block Foundation. And I just think it's an amazing, amazing cause. And they always honor Mo Gaba as well. They're based in Baltimore. Mo, obviously, an inspiration to so many around the Ravens and the NFL. So there's a Mo Gaba Courage Award that they present every year. And I get to present that. I MC the event. And, it's just a really amazing, amazing thing. The players that come through there are truly fantastic because all of these guys that are honored, one from every NFL team, have overcome some type of adversity. And, you had guys that have overcome Hodgkin's lymphoma. You've had guys overcome, really serious health situations. Some have overcome serious injuries. And so we got to catch up with a couple of them. I got to catch up and have a sit down with a couple of them last night, which was awesome. So I want to start with a conversation that I had with Jason Kelce. Now, he was there presenting for Joe Opella. Joe was the trainer of the Philadelphia Eagles for all the years that Jason Kelce was with the Eagles. And Opella came down with rectal cancer. And so he had to battle that. And it was serious. It was really, really serious. And they had a very tight bond when, Kelce was playing. So Opella overcame that, came back to the Eagles as part of the training staff. That locker room just loves him so much. And I didn't know this story, but when Jason Kelce had his retirement press conference for one final time, he had Opella tape his ankles for his press conference. Before his press conference, he had Opella tape his ankles because he considered Opella such a inspiration to him for overcoming cancer. So I got to sit down with both of these guys last night and talk about this bond that they had and talk about this story. So this is a conversation I had last night. Absolutely love this story of Joe taping your ankles before your final retirement press conference. How early in the day did you need to get this done to make sure that you had the confidence?
I don't know. We kind of walked in there to do it and saw Joe and decided we were going to execute some tapage. We kind of just did it right before I went out there. Yeah.
Have you ever had a request like that, Joe?
No, I haven't had it, but I haven't had too many players in my time that have retired that deserve worthy of it. You know what I mean, or required it. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Most of our retirement guys probably are just a little sign off, but Jason's was a little bit bigger deal.
Did you have your ankles taped when you celebrated the 2017 Super Bowl?
Absolutely. Taped by this guy right here, for sure. Joe taped me my whole career outside of the last season when he was battling cancer. So, every game that I played, I had that tape on.
How incredible is that story, Joe overcoming that and just battling through that? And you had talked about that up on stage a little bit, but pretty special.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's interesting because, trainers are usually on the other side of it. They're the ones helping players get over injuries or overcoming misfortune in their lives. And, Joe obviously did that for me when I won this award in 2014 after coming back from ACL and MCL surgery. Joe rehabbed me back from that. Rehabbed me back from a lot of other injuries in my career. And he did that for a lot of players. So to see him on the other side of that, now all of a sudden he's the one who's having to battle something. And it was, I don't know, if you learn a lot about a spirit of somebody when you go through adversity together. And, he offered so much encouragement, support, and guidance when I was ever injured and throughout my career. It didn't really strike me as too surprising that, he felt the whole time he was going to get over it. He was going to beat it. Felt very confident. Stick to a super regimen. I mean, he went about it just like he did as a rehabilitation expert. He had a formulaic way he was going to do it. He went completely vegan, cleaned up his diet, was really regimented in his working out and everything. And I don't think it's any surprise that he got over it to the point that, I know he ended up getting surgery. He didn't even have to have surgery. Like the whole thing completely went into remission. I mean, he completely kicked the cancer's ass that was trying to get him. So, it was not surprising at all.
It's interesting because a player, you probably have been inspired by players that you've taped up or you've worked through and you see their injuries, they're battling on Sundays. You take some, I'm guessing, drive or motivation out of that. Jason's talking about how they saw you in that same way. So that must be interesting for you to be like, hey, man, I've seen these guys battle through crazy injuries to get out there on Sundays. Then they look at me kind of the same way.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of talked about that earlier, but it's cool to see these guys, or it's humbling to see guys put their body through, a car wreck 70, 80 times on Sunday and then do it again 7 days later. And it makes you kind of think like, well, what do I have to complain about? And, Jason was the epitome of that. The guy that, how many consecutive games played and starts. I remember sitting in meetings and people asking me opinion of him. And I say, toughest guy I've ever met in my life. And so to try to emulate that or just know that I had a guy that I could follow was really inspirational to me. I mean, part of my recovery was just having Jason's career in my vision because I knew how tough he was and said, like, just time to get over the next hurdle. You know what I mean? So it was great.
Give me a player that you played alongside that you're like, damn, I can't believe that guy's going out there this week.
I didn't play with him this year, but Cam Jurgens, I thought the fact that he played in the playoff game this year with things that he was going through with his back was pretty dang impressive. I mean, there's a lot of guys that you think about that every so often. A guy will be out there and say, man, I can't believe that guy actually, got the game day and is out there. And, it's a credit to the training staff that we have and the doctors and everybody. And, it's a physical sport. It's a violent sport. And to go out there at less than 100% can be dangerous at times. And, some guys find a way to get to the point where they feel comfortable going out there despite what, I guess you would expect of. And it's a game of a lot of tough individuals. It'd be hard to name a bunch. I mean, I could name a bunch of them, but to narrow it down to one, I'll go with the most recent one, Cam Jurgens this year.
I know that your body didn't want to give much more, but if you knew that this was a Super Bowl year, would you have been like, I'll grind out 17 more games?
I mean, that's the thing. It's not just the Super Bowl. If it was just a Super Bowl, it's one thing. But,
you get out there for one more.
Yeah, my body was over. It was done playing, and I think mentally I was also at peace with the game. And I don't know that they go to the Super Bowl if I come back another year. There's a lot of things that happen throughout the course of a season, and I think this team turned into the best version of itself with the guys that they had, and it ended up being a damn good team. And I'm very happy for them, but I've don't regret ever 1 second, deciding to hang it up and deciding to retire, because at that point in my life, I was done doing it. And do I miss it? Of course. But do I want to go back out there? I'd go back out there for a couple snaps just to have some fun. But I got no interest in doing 17 games.
I was going to let you go drink beer, but I just want to ask you one more question. Do you really think that maybe if you would have come back, maybe the Eagles would not have gone to the Super Bowl?
You never know. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, call it butterfly effect, whatever, but there's more, and it's not even just me and Cam Jurgens. There's Mekhi Beck. There's a lot of decisions that get made that ultimately come down to, guys stepping away, coaches moving on. There's a lot of different varying factors. And what I do know is that the group that remained with the Philadelphia Eagles at the end of the season was the best team in the NFL. And you replace anything from that happened in that way, and all of a sudden that could change drastically. So I try not to think about it in terms of like, oh, if I just would have done that a year, I would have been able to win that Super Bowl, because who knows what would have happened and who else would have been there and what guys would have been acquired and all these other things. So for me, I'm very happy with what I left when I was there, and I'm very happy that I left a room that was fully capable of doing what they did this year with Jeff Stoutland and Saquon Barkley and all those guys. So, those guys were tremendous this year.
You're a busy guy.
Mm-hmm.
I know Joe must mean a lot to you for you to have been here tonight. So
sure.
I know a lot of people in this building are really appreciative that you made it. And Joe, I'm sure you are as well. So it's really good to talk to you guys. Congratulations on this award. That's a really special award. I know the people in here, the integrity of the people in here means a lot that you guys both showed up here today. So thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. No, thank you.
Thanks, Shay.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Good to catch up with Jason Kelce, the man about town everywhere in the media, and he took some time out last night to honor his friend Joe Appella, former and then current member of the staff of the Philadelphia Eagles for the athletic training staff. So that was really cool. And like I said before when we began the show, keep these comments coming here tonight. What are you going to do with the extra hour of daylight that we have? We're going to be giving away some cool Last Dive Bar swag-a-rooney coming up here later on in the show. So give me a little bit of fodder to read through the comments. And I'm going to also show you some good stuff that Last Dive Bar sent me, okay? So we'll get to more of those comments, all of those comments a little bit later on in the show. And, yeah, very cool that Jason Kelce was able to sit down. And good dude, good conversation. He took time with everybody, so that was nice to see last night. That the guy has one of the most massive podcasts in the world right now and found time to come to the Ed Block Courage Awards. Very, very cool. Speaking of, I got a chance to sit down with TJ Hockenson last night as well. Now, he's been to a couple of Pro Bowls in his NFL career, drafted by the Lions, now with the Vikings. And TJ Hockenson was the beneficiary of an amazing season this past year with Sam Darnold. Vikings have a decision to make. Do they pay Sam Darnold, or do they let him walk and go with the unproven yet highly drafted J.J. McCarthy? I had to ask T.J. Hockenson what he thought about the quarterback situation. Let's roll the conversation that I had last night with the Vikings tight end. TJ Hockenson of the Minnesota Vikings here, the Ed Block Courage Awards. And TJ, strongest ankle game in the building tonight. This is a lot going on here. Tell me about it.
I got the P44As. My guy Stitched by Mitch hooked me up.
Nice.
So just letting them hang loose, I guess.
Stitched by Mitch is the sneakers?
No, that's my suit guy. So
your suit guy.
He got me right with the sneakers and everything.
Okay.
So, yep.
All right.
No doubt.
Now, there's kind of like a floral pattern on this, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's got
nice.
Got some flowers into it. So yeah, no, exactly. It's a good little suit.
And they say that Midwestern guys don't have flair, don't have style. Come on.
My wife helped me pick this one out, so
She's doing well.
Special, yeah.
She's doing well.
Special.
So, I mean, I love the fact that your Midwestern roots run deep. Grew up in Iowa, high school Iowa, college Iowa, drafted by the Lions in Michigan, now playing for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yep.
Like, you got that whole thing on lock.
Been everywhere in the Midwest, right? No, obviously I grew up there, and so near dear to my heart. I've been there my whole life, and I got some land up there now, and obviously I have a house in Minnesota. So just love the people. There's no better people than Midwest people, and so it's truly home for us, and I've enjoyed it my entire career. Obviously,
Can you give us a good skull?
yeah, school baby. I don't know if I can do it in this.
In the Stitch by Mitch, it's kind of
Right.
tough because
It's a little tight.
Right? Yeah,
Meant to be down.
that's right. Man, Sam Darnold, what a season
Yeah.
he had with you guys, and you guys obviously had a connection there as well. What was it like to watch his kind of renaissance season last year?
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, obviously Sam has had a journey throughout the NFL, and we've talked about it, and obviously the media's talked about it, and how he's been able to be here and to where he was, and we knew when he came to the Vikings that he had a mission, and when he was in OTAs, we knew that he was going to be a dog, and then he carried that into camp, and then obviously you guys saw what he did during the season. So Sam's a special guy, a great friend, and it was a good dude to play for, and hopefully we'll see what happens. But I wish him nothing but the best, and I hope he gets a little bag wherever he's at. If he's with us, great. If he's not, go get his money.
He's going to get a bag somewhere.
Yeah, he's going to get one somewhere. He earned it. So.
When you guys clinched a playoff spot, the footage inside that locker room I thought was really telling. You guys were so excited, but also so excited for him. You could see you guys rally to Sam. Why was that such an emotional day for your locker room and Sam?
Yeah, it was an in-division game. Everybody had us as underdogs, and Sam never let anything get to him. I mean, throughout the entire season, he never let anything get to him. All the talk, all the media, all the stuff, never let anything get to him. And inside that locker room, and KO did a really good job with us and with the team, with not letting any of the outside noise get to us, and especially throughout the season. And I think that was huge for all of us. And then to watch Sam, grow throughout the season, and really, grow into his own and be as confident as he was a lot of fun to watch. And we built this locker room, and KO built this locker room to love each other and to enjoy watching each other and to enjoy playing with each other, and that's really what we all strive to have. And so when we see a guy have success like that, and like Sam, and it just brings up the entire locker room. It's fun to be a part of, and that's what we loved, and that's what we love to see with Sam. So
it's a business, but it's got to be a little awkward because the team may decide, as good as Sam was, that they want to run with JJ, and you can't blame them because obviously they drafted JJ. But for yourself, it's got to be like, man, we just had so much production with Sam Darnold. Like you said, you're a friend of his, and you're like, yeah, I could see both sides, I'm sure, but you're probably like, yeah, but you don't want to move away from something that was just so good a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I've played with a lot of different quarterbacks. I mean, Sam is one of my great buddies, always will be, but I've grown to love JJ. JJ, when he came into the locker room as a rookie last year, he was on a mission as well before his injury. And, he showed everybody on the field that he was there and he belonged there. And so, obviously him getting past this injury and what he's done, I went up there last week and was able to hang out with him, and he's ready to play, and that's really cool as a tight end. And as I'm getting older in this league, to watch a young guy and watch him and his desire to be out there with the boys and hang out and really strive for greatness. So whichever way we go, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to be a part of the organization. I'm excited for JJ. I mean, like I said, he's a great dude, and would love to obviously play for him and watch him grow in this league and be a vet that can lead him through this. So whichever way they go, I'm going to be happy. But we'll see. You never know.
Two-time Pro Bowler. Vikings coming off an awesome season last year, getting back to the postseason. And if you're honored in this building here tonight, you're part of a really good group of people. It's high-quality people. So you've overcome some adversity with injuries, but also you have a wonderful foundation that helps veterans, military veterans, connect with civilian life and transition. That means a lot to you. And I know that a lot of people in here have those types of causes that run deep. So it's a special group of people. But your foundation specifically, why are military veterans and their transitions important?
Yeah, Warriors Rising. I've worked with them since I was at Iowa. I met the owner when he was just starting the foundation, and really was able to kind of get in with him and understand what he does for veterans. These guys come back from war, and it's a whole different life, and so to be able to help them and see these vets come back and give them really a hand up in life and help them start a business and help them with civilian life is incredible. We owe them our freedom. That's what we do. We get to live the way we live because of them, and so it truly is an incredible feeling to be able to help them out and to be in the building with them and hear their stories and hear what they've gone through. And I've hung out with Medal of Honor recipients, and that's not common. I mean, those people are very selfless people. Our worlds and their worlds collide in some different ways that people don't really understand. Just working a different job. There's teamwork. There's the mentality of things. Obviously, we're not getting bullets flown at us, so there's a different level of respect there and a different level of resiliency that they go through. But it is really cool to be able to talk to those guys and understand their story. And so loved working with Warriors Rising. We'll always do it. And so it's a great organization.
Great job. Thanks so much for coming down here tonight. I know it means a lot for a lot of people here, and just really high quality people. So it's really good to be around, man.
No doubt. Thank you for having me. I
Nice
appreciate
to meet
it.
you.
Yeah, great to
TJ
meet you.
Hockenson, two-time Pro Bowler, joining us here from the Ed Block Courage Awards. So just a note about the Ed Block Awards. I pose this invitation to anybody that wants to come to Baltimore next year. It's usually around this time. It's either March or April. They shifted it from April to March this year because it allowed for more players to attend because it doesn't conflict with OTAs. But just keep this in the back of your brain. If you would like to come to the Ed Block Awards, it's usually you got to buy a ticket, come in, and you get a table. It's all you can eat. Open bar as well. They got great food stations. They have great cocktails. And then there's an auction of game-worn or authentic jerseys and really cool stuff that you can bid on, all NFL-related stuff, usually some Hollywood stuff. Like last night, there was the Sandlot jersey, a Sandlot jersey, autographed by all the actors in the Sandlot. So that's really cool. But Mike Evans was there last night. Kelce was there last night. Hockenson was there last night. I mean, some pretty big NFL players. They're kind of milling about. If you would like to go, I got you covered. The foundation down there is just amazing. They appreciate my remembrance of Mo. I love what they do, obviously, as well. And they said, any of your listeners, they are guests of yours. They are guests of ours. So if you can make it next spring, I'll put it out there a couple of weeks earlier. You just let me know. But again, that's an invitation I want to extend to you. It's a great party. They turn on the music afterwards. Everybody dances and has a good time. It's in a hotel, so you can get a room in the hotel if you'd like, and just have a really fun night, good night, but also support a really amazing cause and great foundation. And you get to meet really cool NFL players and NFL celebrities and just be around good people. My invitation is open to you guys. This is a family. Everything that I have given to me as an opportunity, I love to share with those that care about this show and, the things that we do here on the show. So just keep that in mind for a year from now. If you guys want to go, it's going to be in Baltimore again, usually at the Renaissance Inner Harbor. You just let me know, and we'll put you on the list, and you and a guest can come down, and you're a guest of mine. You're a guest of Ed Block Courage Award Foundation, and it'll be amazing. I promise you that. They are really, really great people. And I'll tell you, we are super lucky to just be surrounded by really good people here on this show and with the endeavors that we do. You guys know how much I feel strongly about Brian and the gang at the Last Dive Bar. We are creeping closer to releasing the merch of the DA show, and specifically Watch DA Live, for the first time ever, having merch available for sale. So they're helping me out with that online store. I can't wait for that. And next week, we are celebrating 1 year anniversary of Watch DA Live. Starting on March 17th, 2024, we've been live for just about every single Sunday or Monday every week since. And we've had some epic moments. So next week, we're going to do it on a Monday, okay, because that is March 17th. So the 1 year anniversary officially, we're doing it on a Monday night. We're going to do a blowout of all the greatest moments and greatest guest moments that we've had in the first year of the show. We'll give away a bunch of stuff. It's going to be great. And we'll just celebrate 1 year of all you guys coming together on Sunday nights, having a good time, popping it on the smart TV, popping it on your phone, on your tablet, eating some food, having a cocktail. As we all know, the Exhale cocktail is going to be coming back once the weather gets a little bit warmer for us, sitting out in the backyard, sipping on an Exhale cocktail, sharing it with all of the D-aliens here. Can't wait. So next Monday night, 1 year officially since day one, episode 1 of Watch DA Live, we will do the 1 year Annie next Monday night. One of the things that we got going on right now going through March is making tacos. And so let's bring Aiden Hatton, the executive producer of the DA show, Watch DA Live, onto screen right now. Once again, this is a guy that has been in the lab watching March Madness, watching these tournaments, and breaking it down so that you can fill out your brackets. Here we go. We're making tacos.
If you're not making tacos, I don't love you no more.
Haciendo los tacos, mis amigos, helping you translate March Madness into manageable madness heading into Champ Week. It's the perfect appetizer, watching each conference crown their chips and guac. Let's heat up with today's caliente, shall we?
Feeling good, doing well. Feeling good, doing well.
Who needs the Fab Five when you have the Crab Five? Yes, Maryland's starting lineup have been the ultimate guacamole-flavored glue guys. Had they all average double figures, and together their scoring average is the best in America among power conference teams. Maryland has clawed to a 7-1 record in their past 8 and could very well crab walk their way to Final Four contention. Next, Pat Boyle's favorite team, the Cougars of BYU, certified caliente.
A dog. A dog.
One of the games in the year on Tuesday, double overtime win at Iowa State. That marked their 8th straight. And D-aliens, you already know those ballers in Utah know how to
Have fun with your marriage.
Or marriages. A final spicy salute to my close personal friend, Bill Raftery. Yes, he'll have his shining moments throughout his beautiful month. But a reminder that he is 81 years old and has done multiple games a week across the country this entire season. And our friend of the show, Ian Eagle, got a new Raf story on the air via the Dan Patrick Show this week.
Onions! Double order! 10 minutes into our stay at the bar, they call out, last call! And I see like Bill's whole demeanor change. And normally, last call, what ends up happening? They still let you hang around a little bit. They did not. Bill's a bit upset about it, and I understand. They cut off his evening. So he's wearing a long trench coat. Rapp opens his trench coat. He has 8 ears that he has snuck out. 2 in each side pocket, 2 on the interior, in his pants. This guy is at another level.
Never take Raph for granted, my friends. Next up.
He said, get away from me, buddy!
Arizona may have some good Mexican cuisine, but they need to get away from me after a loss to fraudulent Kansas on Saturday, their 5th loss in the last 8. Plus, in what seems like his 52nd season of college eligibility, if you're not making 3-pointers, I don't Caleb love you no more.
I don't
Caleb.
love you no more!
A positive get away from me, buddy, is the St. Thomas, wait for it, Tommies
He has a weird
mascot. St. Thomas, located in the great capital of St. Paul, Minnesota, are still transitioning to Division I and are therefore ineligible for the NCAA tournament this year. So,
Now wait a minute!
the Omaha Fighting Trash Cans are in. Yes, a new trash can gets get away from me, buddied, after each win. That is just music to Cinderella's ears. The last buddy I want to get away from is width.
He has a weird waist.
Yes, wide brackets, DA. They've made it damn near impossible for an underdog to steal a bid into the NCAA tournament. Look at this width of the Sun Belt Conference tournament this week. Keep it to 4, maybe 5 rounds. No one needs to win 8 games just to win their conference tournament. Please.
Get away from me, buddy!
To finish it off, let's do some tasty top 3 special edition.
Have fun with your marriage!
To wrap up this tortilla, a special tasty top 3 edition because it's champ week. Let's circle 3 bubble teams you need to keep an eye on to make noise this week. Number 1, the Dayton Flyers. Had an amazing non-conference season, but have struggled in the A-10 and need to likely win the conference tournament. But no fear, a big fan came to support this week, sitting courtside. Does Dave Chappelle have something better to do on a Tuesday night? Probably, but he is just like us, a fellow taco maker. Number 2, Arkansas. Yes, John Calipari in his first season as coach, and their margins are razorback thin to make the tournament. He even went into Kentucky this year and won, and was even caught on a hot mic walking out of Rupp saying,
You like that, big boy?
if they don't post a win or 2 in the SEC tournament this week, Cal could be sweating more than death by salsa. Last team to watch, Xavier. Right on the cut line. People forget an old DA show segment, the cut line. For me, this is an exercise to love thy enemy and know thy enemy because, yes, they are indeed facing Marquette in the first round of the Big East tournament on Thursday. I will be in the house at Madison Square Garden. If you are there, come see me in the Big Apple all week long. Go Marquette. On behalf of all taco makers worldwide, this is the Marquette Marvel saying, Bienvenidos a la Cura de Marzo.
If you're not making tacos, I don't love you no more!
This is getting better by the week. Not only is the music phenomenal, but your puns are really going next level. Pat Boyle's favorite team, the BYU Cougars. You mentioned
Dogs.
have fun with your marriages. And if you're not making 3-pointers, I don't Caleb love you no more.
That's good stuff. I gotta say, that's good stuff.
That's quality writing, quality punning, and John Calipari's line is razorback thin. Excellent writing here. Excellent writing. You're conjuring up images of Canadian bacon in your own style here, Aiden Hatt. Nicely done.
Thank you. I'll give a tip of the sombrero to you as my grader. And Yeah, we grind the film all week long. We watch mid-majors. We watch Omaha slam trash cans all week to come up with content. So it is it's not for the faint of heart.
I'm going to give you 2 mariachis because I believe that's as many as we can give. So I think it's 2 out of 2 mariachi maracas. Was it last week? I think that's what we gave. We gave you last week.
Kristen and Buffalo chimed in with the mariachis last week, so
Yeah,
I believe that's unless mariachi is just the name of the band. Which shout out to the mariachi band for recording that famous music underneath me.
And was that a player jumping off of a cooler or a fridge to drop the elbow on the garbage can?
Yes, one of those famous Omaha Mavericks was jumping off of the empty. It looked like the vending machine that you see at your local rec hockey rink.
Yeah,
but he somehow got up there. It's like a probably 6.5 foot, 7 foot tall cooler. But yes, he somehow got on top, did the RKO. And yes, that's a real picture of me and Bill Raftery circa 2018, 2019. My close personal friend when he called a Marquette game way back in the day.
I absolutely love the idea of him walking out of a bar with 8 beers stashed in his jacket. Love that story from Ian. Love that story. You'll be coming into New York. You do the show every single week with us in Boston, and so you'll be coming into New York. So hopefully I'll see you this week over somewhere, maybe near my studios, maybe at the Garden, the Big East tournament. You know, it's all Johnnies right now. You're going to have to deal with so many St. John's fans. They all came out of the woodwork for one season. They've been hiding for like 30 years. Now suddenly they're all out.
It's going to be a sea of red. And honestly, I'm okay with it because this is for my friends, Brian, Zach, and myself. This is year, 4 or 5. We've been going since I was a Marquette student, basically. And it's been, it's been Seton Hall, it's been UConn, it's been Villanova, all the Northeast Central Big East teams. And now St. John's will have its day where probably just cover MSG. So, it's at least it's not the same UConn fan base smacking me in the head every year. It'll be, I know Rick Pitino will probably have his white suit one of those days, but hopefully Marquette plays spoiler for them.
It will be my annual tear dropping of leaving the Big East. When Syracuse is in the Big East tournament for me was one of the best things of the sports calendar, any sport. And that week with the rivalry against UConn, the epic games that they played against UConn when St. John's was good. You have all these regional teams like Seton Hall and Rutgers and St. John's and all these kind of like tri-state area teams that, you go to high school with a kid and he goes to one of those schools and you go to Syracuse and there's some intense rivalry. And, there are some epic games and epic players. Georgetown, obviously, Pitt, West Virginia. Those were just West Virginia fans were so fun. They just came into Manhattan and drank everything in the city. They just would absolutely go crazy every single year. It was so much fun. Every day was so much fun. And when we left for the ACC, all of us as Syracuse fans, we lost part of our soul, and it's gone forever. And nobody goes to the ACC tournament. I mean, that's all North Carolina and Duke people, people in and Tobacco Road. So Syracuse fans don't go down there. And we lost something so special. So you guys, it's so much fun. I'm so jealous you get to go to the Big East every year and have a team in it. But I will be there with you in spirit watching this thing because it's great. It's a rumble. It's like a city rumble every single year. And now that, UConn's this dominant, although this year a little bit less, Villanova's won a couple of championships. There's juice. Now St. John's is great this year. So there's juice definitely in that building. We'll see about Marquette, Creighton, all those teams. So it'll be a lot of fun. Very, very cool. Before we give away some gear, I just want to give you a couple of takes here because we had 2 pieces of NFL news that happened while we were on the air. Number 1, Davante Adams gets a 2-year deal, $26 million guaranteed from the Rams. Davante's going to the Rams. I think for the Rams, very savvy move here because he doesn't need to be wide receiver 1. Puka Nacua is clearly your 1. You put Davante with a veteran quarterback with a very smart offensive system and coach, a Hall of Fame potential QB, and he's wide receiver 2. You're going to get a lot of production out of him. Now, it's interesting that they thought Cooper Kupp was too old and too expensive, and they bring in Davante Adams, right? But Davante, I think in this system, considering what he did with half a year with the Jets and a 40-year-old, Aaron Rodgers, and kind of learning on the fly and coming in midseason, he was still pretty productive. 8 touchdowns last season, more than 1,000 yards. I think it's a really good move for the Rams. And for Davante, he goes to a contender. The last time he was on a contender, Green Bay. And now he gets to go back to a contender. Think about the offensive options now that the Rams have. Stafford, Nakua, Davante, Kyron Williams. Those 4 guys make up one of the top 3 skill position collections in all of the NFL. So offensively, they have firepower now. They got to get all those young guys on defense up to speed again. They had a great draft last year. They have to keep up with the offense. But in terms of giving an aging QB like Matthew Stafford another option, the Rams have had a really good offseason. The Rams keep Stafford, and now they bring in Davante. Maybe that was part of keeping Stafford. It was Stafford saying, okay, but we need a little bit more help here on the offense. It's certainly maximizing the last year or 2 you'll have of Stafford. That window, we remember the Rams played the Eagles really well on the road in Philly in the divisional round. They came as close as anybody did in the postseason to knocking off the eventual Super Bowl champs. So the Rams have something. Very interesting team, very interesting addition. The Rams get better with Davante Adams. Obviously, Davante gets to go back to the West Coast where he's comfortable, where he's from, and play with a future Hall of Fame QB potentially. Nice fit for him. Nice fit for the Rams. And Cooper Kupp, this is your signal. The door is open. You got to go. That much is clear. They're telling you, now you got to go. Another piece of news that hit tonight. The Buffalo Bills have given Josh Allen an extension, $330 million, including $250 guaranteed. That is a gargantuan amount of money. And $250 million guaranteed is more than Deshaun Watson got guaranteed. So this is a record-breaking amount of guaranteed money. If you are the Buffalo Bills, what you saw last year was enough to tell you we could invest a ton of money and length in Josh Allen because we know he's matured into the heartbeat of the locker room. I think whatever happened with Stephon Diggs, maybe because they had all of those older guys and team captains around, when all of those guys left, when there was the big bloodletting last offseason, it forced Josh Allen to become and grow into a new type of leader, okay? We had Sal Capaccio on the show. He's a Buffalo Bills insider, has been for a million years. And during the postseason, he said when those guys left, it really forced Josh to become somebody that maybe he hadn't been. And he became the guy. And I think last year you saw the type of performance he put on week in, week out. MVP, obviously, caliber type of season. And now he's hitting his prime. He's grown into a great decision maker. He's grown into a great leader. He's grown into a great face of the organization. And this contract to me is about rewarding a guy that filled in the last box. Great talent, good head on his shoulders, dynamic player, important position, most crucial position, wants to be in Buffalo. All those things were great. But he had to grow into the thing that makes everything go, the leader, the heartbeat, the soul of the team. And he became that. So I think they're betting that with all this money, it's the best bet they can make. And how can you disagree? How can you disagree? And so now everybody that plays for the Bills looks at Josh Allen the same way. Colts players looked at Peyton Manning. Patriots players looked at Tom Brady. Chiefs players look at Patrick Mahomes. That's the guy. Everything runs through him. He works this hard. I've got to work this hard. He does this in the community. I've got to do more in the community. He treats that player like that. I've got to treat that player like that. He's in here early, out late. I've got to be that. He gets all that cash. He's the star, but he's also the soul. That's why you give a guy $250 million. See, the Browns gave Deshaun Watson $230 million on a hope, on a prayer, because they were desperate. He never was that guy. For Josh, they saw him grow into that guy and said, it's time. $250 million guaranteed. In football terms, that does not happen. But hey, how can you argue with the results or the decision? The Bills have their guy, and they lock him in. And now Josh, it's about breaking through the Chiefs, 2025. We'll see if this is the year they finally do it. This is also the final year of the old building. So I'm going to be going up there for another big tailgate. We haven't picked what game because we haven't seen the schedule come out yet. But when the schedule comes out, me and my boys are going, okay, this game, what do we do here? What time is that? And we're going back for one more run of the old building. Rich Stadium, Ralph Wilson Stadium, now Highmark Stadium, before the new building opens up in 2026. All right, it is time to give away some gear because last dive bar, we got tons of cool T-shirts, as you know, but also...
Can I give you the wee woo breaking news sounder?
Yeah, of course.
One more major NFL news that we're missing. Seahawks are trading DK Metcalf to the Steelers per Adam Schefter. They're sending a second-round draft pick to Seattle and flipping picks in the 6th and 7th rounds. And Steelers are signing Metcalf to a 5-year, $150 million contract.
Whoa.
Boom.
Holy cow. Wow. This has been an unbelievable weekend in NFL news, has it not? DK to the Steelers. My initial reaction is I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised that the Steelers would invest a high round pick to trade and the money in a wide receiver when they don't have a solution yet at QB. I'm very surprised. And DK can be a bit mercurial, right? He is built in some ways like your wide receiver diva in some ways. Now, he's incredibly productive, but we have seen some tendencies of, I want to get paid, I want the ball more, etc. That usually doesn't fly great in Pittsburgh. So I'm surprised. Now, look, DK definitely makes that offense better. I think the Steelers being aggressive right now to try to drag themselves out of good enough to make the playoffs, not good enough to win a playoff game. This is the type of move you make, but it really doesn't mean much until you have the quarterback solution. And Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, or any of the other guys you've had come through there, Kenny Pickett, etc., Mason Rudolph, those guys, even with a wide receiver like DK Metcalf, who certainly helps make the quarterback better, none of those guys are the types of guys that gets the Steelers back to the Super Bowl. So I'm surprised. I'm surprised that this is where they're going all in, because I'd say, all right, you got to solve quarterback first and foremost. You got to make sure you have the money to solve quarterback. And if you're still trying to get by paying a quarterback 75 cents of the dollar, by getting a guy that's a little under the radar, by getting a guy that's a little broken goods, by getting a guy that might be, maybe just needs another chance somewhere, you're just still not truly going for it. You can pay TJ Watt all the money that you want, DK Metcalf all the money that you want, etc. You've got to have the guy under center. So for the Steelers, if it's DK and Justin Fields, I don't know if you've moved much in the AFC. I really don't. I don't know if you've surpassed the Ravens or the Bengals in your division. Now, I realize, the Steelers were better than the Bengals last year, but still, I don't know if you've gotten into the grounds of the elite of the AFC unless you upgrade over anybody that you've had in the quarterback room the last couple of years. So it's a wow, definitely a big time wow, but it has to be the first of another move or moves if the Steelers want to really see whether Mike Tomlin's the guy for the future and not just the guy that's been there the longest, I've always said you got to give him a quarterback, because when he had Big Ben in his prime, he went to Super Bowls and they won playoff games. Since Big Ben started deteriorating, and then they've gone through the poo-poo platter of QBs after that, they've fallen on hard times. They can't win a playoff game. But what is it? Does Mike Tomlin, is it just that he had the benefit of all the Bill Cowher guys that he inherited? Or is he actually a really good coach that can win Super Bowls? You just got to give him a decent quarterback. We don't really know. You got to make sure the QB is right. And DK doesn't play that position. All right. Time now to give some stuff away. All right. Like I said, Last Dive Bar, we got a bunch of great swag. And now Last Dive Bar sent me their 2025 calendars. All right. So we can send these out. This has a lot of cool photography. So we can send these out. We'll have a two-part win here, two-part prize. You got the calendar with all this great, beautiful photography, which is available at the Last Dive Bar website. Look at that. You got the puppets. You got to love it. Dave Cavill, John Fisher, the puppets, total clowns, which is perfect for these puppets. But it's just beautiful photography, and they do such a nice job with these all the time, every single year. So we'll send these out as well, okay, with your winnings. So we'll send out T-shirts, and we'll send out calendars as well to you guys. Look at that. Thanks for the memories, Oakland Coliseum. Last Dive Bar, kind of commemorating the final season of the A's in Oakland with all this beautiful photography. So that's what we got on the docket here tonight. So, Aiden, my man, give me 3 winners tonight from the comment section.
Sure thing. You put the bat signal out to get some daylight savings stories, what you're going to do with that extra hour. Let's reward Spencer Seeks on YouTube. Extra hour of daylight, just stolen from the bottom and added to the top. That just reminded me of a Drake song, started from the bottom. Now we're here. So I feel like that has to be one winner at least. So congrats, Spencer.
All right. Nice job, Spencer. I like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Number 2, also a big daylight savings fan, Largent at Damon Amendola. I hate daylight savings time. I say you do not mess with Mother Nature. That's a hot take because that's a really hot one. Would you rather have it just dark at 4 o'clock all the time, or just eliminate it altogether? I know that's been passed through Congress. I don't think it passed officially when it got to a couple rounds up, but that's a hot take.
If you want to eliminate daylight savings time, just eliminate the time that we turn the clocks back. Whatever we have right now should be the way the daylight is, so that when we get into November, we're not then already getting dark early and turning the clocks back an hour. That is ridiculous. It is so depressing. It is so dark so early. This is the right cadence for the day. I don't mind waking up in the dark. I wake up in the dark every single day for the show. I've done a morning show for how many years now in a row? I don't mind waking up in the dark. What I need is late afternoon sun. What I need is a little bit more daylight coming in through the window right before dinner, 100%. At dinner, etc. So this is whatever it is. I don't know if this is daylight savings or after daylight savings. I don't know. But whatever this thing is, it's just time to not break it again in November.
All right, that leads us right into our last winner. Not necessarily a daylight savings take, because I think that was just the take of all takes, whether it's hot or very cold. Okay. The last winner will come from YouTube as well. CNYCC. He's looking ahead to our 1-year anniversary show next week. 1-year anniversary plus St. Patty's Day equals beer-flavored cake, I believe, if you translate from the emojis.
Ooh.
I don't know how the heck we'd have to have somebody like Kristen or a professional baker bake that beer-flavored cake for us, but that sounds like a good idea.
Beer-flavored cake. Wow, now that's a way to celebrate. Yeah, I mean, it's a 1-year anniversary, so why not have a cake? And since it's St. Patty's Day, we will add in something a little spicy, a little unique, a little
maybe
flavorful.
A green Guinness flavored cake.
A green Guinness right in there. How about that? Okay. I like it. I'm all in. Next week on Monday night, are you ready for the 1-year anniversary and a countdown to the greatest moments? We're kind of doing like a 12 DAs greatest moment countdown going into the year 1 anniversary.
I'll one up the 12 DAs in one aspect. We have 17 moments because our show is on the 17th. That's our 1-year anniversary. And we didn't just come up with that as an arbitrary number. There are 17 of the best moments of the year lined up, coming to you live and direct next Monday.
Love it. All right. Yes, 17. We will count them down next week. Wait till you get a load of this. Where do they get a load of me? Drunkle Sam says he got his bobblehead of the mail, that Jack O'Callahan bobblehead, the Miracle on Ice bobblehead. Good to hear it, Drunkle Sam. For all you 3 winners that we knocked on your door tonight, let me know or let Aiden know your mailing address so we can get those things out to you this week. You get a calendar and a t-shirt courtesy of Last Dive Bar. As always, we love the people, all the gang at Last Dive Bar, Brian and the whole gang over there. They're awesome. Use our code Mothership for 20%, 15% off. I don't want to take off too much. 15% off your order at lastdivebar.com by using our code Mothership. And share this show with your friends. Let them know that this is where we come on Sunday nights, especially now that the summer's coming up and the warm weather is going to be coming here. You go out on the deck, you throw it on the tablet, you throw it on your phone, what have you. You sit back, you relax, and you watch the Sunday nights with the whole crew here. You chat alongside the other D-aliens. And coming up with the 1-year anniversary, we'll be having some announcements of some new things we'll do with the show, including some merch of the show. So we're very excited that we're turning the corner on 1 year. We got some very special stuff for you guys. Very, very, very special stuff. By the way, I had some conversation I saw from Timbo Slice and Moist Pork about my suit game last night at the Ed Block Awards. That was the suit that if you were listening to my Sirius XM show, the DA show with Babchick weekday mornings, that I had to buy in New Orleans because I got an invite midweek, Super Bowl week, of going to NFL Honors, and I didn't bring a suit. So in the middle of a crazy week, I went to the mall in New Orleans. And as you might imagine, Super Bowl week, middle of the city. It's not exactly like the suburbs where we were staying. I had to go kind of like make it work. And there was a Brooks Brothers. So I went in there and I said, look, I need a suit for tomorrow. I'm going to NFL Honors. What can we do here? And they definitely fitted me right. They definitely took care of me. And I appreciated the help over there. That being said, when you go to Brooks Brothers, a little sticker shock. I had not spent that much money even on my wedding suit. So I'm like, all right, okay, I got to do it though. But my thinking was, now I got a nice suit. That's not my wedding suit. Okay, this immediately becomes my nicest suit. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get a lot of use out of this because I can't just wear my wedding suit to everything. My wedding suit was not black. It was navy blue. So I said, all right, now I have another suit. It's a little bit of a different shade of blue that I can use for future events. But I was kind of caught in a hard spot. So when Moist Pork said it fit nice, I appreciated that. Moist Pork, he works in fashion. So the man knows what he's talking about. He's kind of been my fashion police for a long time, helping me out with my cuffs, how much to roll my shirts, suits, ties, So, I appreciate his fashion eye. We got Moist Pork eye for the fashion guy. And, he said that it fit nice. So I appreciated that feedback very much. And Timbo Slice says he looks like it was off the rack. Don't tell me that, Timbo, because it definitely costs way more than off the rack. I'm just saying. All right. It is time for the Little Mo laugh of the day. Okay. And what else could it be besides last night, the event in Baltimore? I got to see his mom, Sanzi, and we got a nice embrace and got to spend some time and chat and remember Little Mo together. And I just asked her how she was doing, and she goes, not a day goes by that I don't think about him, but also not a day goes by that somebody doesn't bring him up to me about how much he meant to them. So that's pretty special. So I felt like, nice to hear that his life, and in many ways his teaching, certainly something that I learned from him, affects so many people that every day Sanzi is told about what her son meant to people. And that's a pretty amazing thing. And I was last night talking to some people. They'd come up to me And they just said, what you said about Mo, really was special. They said it was brought some tears to some people's eyes, and they said, how Mo made it because he's in Madden. So that in Madden, the last 2 years, Mo in Baltimore is lit up in the end zone in Madden too. So like if you've kind of become part of pop culture once you're in Madden. And so, I talked about that. He's always watching the show. He's watching what I do. I know this. I got his bobblehead looking over me right here on the windowsill behind me. You see the poster of Mo, and just talked about how Mo will always mean so much to me, because when he used to call my show at night, it was just Mo from Baltimore, and he just laughed, and everything was always funny, everything. So I loved putting him on. Mo in Baltimore's calling. It was just a kid in the middle of the night that would call, and I didn't know until years after he started calling that he was incredibly sick for all of those years. He never led with that. He never let us know that. And I just thought, oh boy, what an amazing thing that this young man, that wasn't who he was. It didn't define him that he was, he had cancer from the time he was 6 months old. That he was Mo in Baltimore, and he was a sports fan, and he was happy and joyful and positive, and found ways to laugh at everything, loved laughing. And I just saw, oh man, talk about a lesson, that the negative doesn't define you, that you get to be whoever you are. And the greatest lesson I've ever learned from Mo is you get to choose every single day how you feel. Everything's a choice. He chose every single day. He chose happiness every single day. So it means a hell of a lot to me. And I know it means a hell of a lot to a lot of you. And, he's always with us in spirit. And this show is always fueled by his love and his heart. And the fact that so many of you guys appreciate him just like I do means quite a bit. And so little Mo, I mentioned last night at the gala on stage, I said, every Sunday night on my YouTube show, we have a little Mo laugh of the week. And, he's with us. And it was cool to hear so many people come up to me afterwards and say, like, man, that story about Mo, that really touched me, and then for them to come up to Sanzi and everything, that was really cool. So as I said, next year, if any of you guys want to come into Baltimore, it's on us. You got a comp ticket, you and a guest, on me, on Ed Block Foundation. They love you guys, and they love what we do around here, and we love them back. So absolutely all of the images from last night, all of the moments from last night in honor of Mo is the little Mo laugh of the day. Spread the love, everybody. Spread the love of Watch DA Live every single Sunday night. Although next week, Monday night, to honor the 1-year anniversary of this show, and all you guys coming together on Sunday night to eat, drink, be merry, and laugh. That's what we do around here. So we'll see you next Monday night for Watch DA Live of the 1-year anniversary. Thank you, everybody, for watching tonight. I will see you tomorrow morning on the DA Show with Babchick on Sirius XM Channel 82. For Aiden Hatton, the executive producer of Watch DA Live. You know me. Have a good one. Be good. Be good to one another. The mothership disconnects.